Well, I'm gonna jump off with a very famous one, but we're gonna go really into it, like really into it. So, here you go. Hate my life. What I'm gonna talk about is the most famous one, the one that most people probably believe in or don't believe in. It's one of the two, right? 9/11.
You're drunk, okay? You're drunk. Give me your keys. And I'm drunk, so I'll give you my keys.
Every single thing you told me was a lie.
Wasn't that by terrorists in the Middle East?
I'm not gonna tell you my view of it. Maybe I'll tell you at the end. But how the conspiracy goes is that the government was well advanced of 9/11. They basically created it. They had terrorists who were not real terrorists. They were hired by the government. All for getting us into the Middle East war is the motive.
Why would we want to go to the Middle East war?
Because since then is the oil, there's no central bank system, there's plenty of Halliburton, which is the vice president's company, which cleans up places after war, which is very, it's coincidence, I guess, right? Yeah. The Carlyle Group with Bush Sr. and the Bin Laden's actually having breakfast at the same time. Like that, this is the part that's not conspiracy. That's like real stuff.
That's fact, yeah. They got documentation.
Which is weird. So, you know, there's some interesting facts about that. But of course, the big one that a lot of people have a question about is Building 7, of course.
Oh, the demolition? I mean, the whatever they tell us.
Yeah. I mean, it is very weird. That's one of the buildings that is just collapses down.
Perfectly. Like they had like a footage of a demolition and that one, and it looked identical.
It looks very identical, but also the news reporting that it's fallen as it's actually still there, just standing in the back. Like, that's kind of weird. And then the feed went right after she said that on BBC. Like there's some weird stuff, right? And then there's more weird stuff like the guy who owns the building put a terrorist insurance a week before 9/11.
I like how a lot of the witnesses said that they heard like boom, boom, boom in the basements of like the buildings. Yeah. Like, and all that stuff's like deleted. They can't find any of it. It's on the internet though, but they've heard like that was part of the demolition, but that's not what's reported though.
And some people will argue that that was the elevators and the fire going through, and that's where the booms were when the elevators were going through the
Maybe, I don't know.
Which is possible. Again, we weren't there, right?
We weren't there.
Thank God.
I like how like weeks later they're just like always hammering terrorists did it, Middle East. They just mind washed us with that for like a whole year or two straight. So all you're seeing a lot of like racial tension between the Middle Eastern community after that, because we're brainwashed to believe that was them. But when you look deep into it, it's, you know, more to it.
Yeah, but then there's even more to the conspiracies too. Now there's some people who believe that that the airplanes, there was not real people who were on there, and that the government murdered the people first and then they went on the planes.
I saw one that they think that jets were actually shooting into the building. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
They also believe that there was a hologram and some secret government weapons that blew it up. It was all special effects. Like, yeah, there's some crazy people who believe really far down that line. I'll say it like in my beliefs. I do find it weird that the neoconservatives, they had this book saying how they could get some of their beliefs into law, and it was a document, and the front picture of it was a World Trade Center with a target on it, and it had pictures of the Pentagon. Like, there's weird stuff in that. That's already kind of weird. And then saying that a way that we can get our beliefs to happen is we need a new Pearl Harbor. Wow. And that's in the manifesto, which that's super weird, and it could be a coincidence or not. So what I do believe is I do believe there was terrorists. I do believe the Bin Ladens. But when someone asked Osama, I remember right at 9/11 that, hey, you know, did you do it? The first thing he said was, no. But then he later confessed and said,
it's like when ISIS takes blame for like everything that happens once in a while. Like, hey, there's a shooting or a bombing. Yeah, we had something to do it.
We had something to do with it. But I do think there was, you know, Middle Eastern people on a plane that crashed into the Pentagon and the trade towers. However, I also believe that the government knew it was going to happen and thought this is a great way to get some of our beliefs to happen. So we're just going to push a little bit with it.
Definitely
Make
a new
bigger spectacle.
Yeah.
Than
It was a new world order after that day. Like our lives changed. Like
Patriot Act.
security from airports, security everywhere. Like life. If you were born in the '90s, you knew the difference. Like there's a lot of young people watching that probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But like the airport was just like a free for all. Anyone could just do whatever they wanted at the airport. Now it's just like crazy security.
Crazy security, and even though they've tested the security and like they always fail.
I bet, yeah.
It's something like a 90% fail rate. However, yeah, I mean the world completely changed.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that Bush knew about it? As I forgot who said it. I think it was Bill Maher, but he says that means Bush having intelligence. Come on, that already sounds funny. Do I think Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld maybe? Because even look, hey, the day before September 11th, September 10th, there was a 2.1. I want to say 2.1. I could be wrong, but 2.3 trillion dollars, I believe, was missing from that they just couldn't figure out the day before 9/11.
Look into.
Anyways,
Wow.
Conspiracies.
Let us know. What are your favorite conspiracies?
Yes.
And like and subscribe.
And also comment what conspiracies we should talk about next time.
Absolutely. And there's a lot more we can talk about.
Yeah, and we'll keep the crazier ones the drunker we get.
College Jones, we're coming for that ass.
Well, that sounds more sexual.
It was.
The war's making the people gay now.